My father was an athlete his whole life. He decided tennis was for him. And that's what he did for the rest of his life. He loved the game.
He loved everything about tennis. The people, the crowds, and he was good at it. So he liked calling the game. He was a very special person in tennis.
What did Al love about tennis? Can you say everything? Can you say the people, the sport itself, the traveling? He loved everything about tennis. But one of the things I think he loved most of all was watching great tennis players. Al had 81st place trophies, so he was also a tennis player and he really liked to play. And finally at one point I said, you can't bring any more trophies in here. We don't have a trophy room. There's no place to put them. You know, so he kind of backed up on that and started really concentrating on the officiating.
Well, we both were tennis officials in our respective cities. I was in Washington, D.C. starting, and he was in St. Louis. It wasn't until we decided to attend a meeting separate of the U.S. Open that our friendship really blossomed, and we went on to roommate for over 20 years.
Got together with a group of guys and started a local tennis foundation called Just Us Tennis. And the goal of that foundation was to get young people interested in the game of tennis, particularly African Americans, who were at that time, as you know, was just interested in basketball and things like that. And he wanted to let them know that there were other sports.
And that was his contribution to wanting to go into the schools and introduce, African American kids and whatever ethnicities were there. But the focus was Just Us Tennis Foundation, and he was trying to get kids in low-income areas acclimated into the game.
He worked in so many different communities teaching kids how to play tennis in East St. Louis, our hometown. He helped. He was one of the reasons why they did the tennis courts over in one of the local parks.
We looked at the city and he said, we need some tennis courts built in the city. So with another group, they decided to write a grant, and it went to the USTA, and they did fund having tennis courts built in our city. So he was really proud of that.
He exemplified the level of professionalism. That's why we consider him our GOAT and our greatest of all time.
He always told us that he was the best that ever did it. And we would be like, okay, yeah, we know. But to hear and actually hear all the officials, umpires from around the world talk about him, it just made us feel wonderful.
He was a consummate professional. He was the best, and I would call him the greatest of all times, the GOAT of service line umpires.
No matter how late the hours, no matter how hard the work, he exemplifies what tennis is and professionalism.
He's done 37 U.S. Opens. He's done 5 consecutive Wimbledons, 6 Australian Opens. Al epitomizes what a professional tennis official should be like.
To this day, since his passing, I sit out there and in spirit want to exemplify how good he was. I mean, we all as officials felt that we were good, but Al was exceptional. I want to carry his legacy by being as good and continue to be good in my own right as Al was.
To have all the people come and say what they wanted to help put in his name or do for him in his honor, we just are so amazed by the generosity and the love that's being shown.
What it means being inducted to the Hall of Fame, it means that a wish has been fulfilled. It may not have been around for him to see it, but it was something that he wanted and it was something that he wished for, and we're fulfilling that wish for him. So thank you very much.